Today I'm dead excited to share with you 9 ways that new caravanners sometimes have little issues. Now, saying it's for new caravanners isn't strictly true because lots of other people who are caravanners also have the same issues. So come and join us and sit and listen to our 9 reasons why we have issues when we're away with our caravan. So the first mistake that lots of new caravanners or beginner caravanners or motorhomes or RV drivers make is to not fill up the tank the night before. You want to make sure that you've got the car completely filled up the night before or whatever you're driving the motorhome, because if you've ever been with a very long outfit like ours, our caravan is 8 meters long and the car is about 4 and a bit meters long, it can get quite tricky to get into a lot of petrol stations at that point in time. So you want to make sure that the car is completely full before you leave. Make sure it's full to the brim, or your motorhome or whatever you're towing your RV with. Because the last thing you want to do is get halfway down a major road and realise that the tank is starting to empty, particularly with a big caravan or a big RV on the back, because the amount of fuel it's going to use is a lot higher than if you're just using the car normally. We would advise you check it before you leave to go to your site, and also on the way back, maybe go somewhere local garage without the caravan or without whatever you're towing, and that makes it a lot easier. We also advise that what you do is you look at your trip in advance and just identify what sort of places you can fill up the car or whatever you need to fill up. Number 2, the next thing that most beginner caravanners do is they don't realise how big these caravans are. As well as ours being 8 meters long, and we'll put the size up here now, it also is 2.6 meters high and it is 7'4" wide. Particularly if you've got an 8-foot caravan, you don't want to have to go through narrow roads, and also due to the height of the caravan, you want to make sure you don't clip the top of your caravan when you go through low bridges. So make sure for our number 2, in order to get rid of that nightmare, you make sure you know how big your outfit is, or your caravan or your motorhome or your RV, to stop you having hassle with that and getting stuck on a low bridge or getting stuck on a very narrow road. Number 3, the other issue that people have as a beginner caravan is that they don't check their tyres. You need to check it visually, but also make sure it's got the right tyre pressure. In order to know the tyre pressure, you will have this next to your habitation door. It'll be a little plaque on there, we'll show on the screen now. And you can check your tyre pressure. So make sure you check your tyre pressures before you leave, both coming to the site and also coming home from your site. You don't want a nightmare of your tyres going down or having an issue on a major road and again getting stuck with the caravan on the back. Another big mistake that beginner caravanners do, and we all actually do, is not making sure that we take the essential equipment every time we go on our trip. Ideally, you should keep the essential equipment in your caravan or maybe in the boot of your car so that you don't forget them. You don't want to forget the things that you need all of the time. So let's look at the essential things now. So the essential things that we say that you should always take with your caravan are, number 1 is a aqua roll, and make sure that you take the bars for that roll so you can fill it up, because you're going to need the water to obviously use the facilities inside your caravan, whether it's using the tap or the shower. Number 2 is a waste master, because all of that water has to go somewhere outside your caravan. So you need a waste master or something like that to hold the water when it leaves the caravan. You don't want to be putting it all over the pitch because you'll get some nasty looks and probably maybe get kicked off the campsite. So number 1 was aqua roll, number 2 is a waste master. And now we're on to number 3. Number 3 is the water pump. Obviously this is a wheel water pump, but you might have a Trima one. Make sure you take that, otherwise again, you can't get the water into your caravan. It might be you've got a newer Swift, in which case it has an onboard pump, but you still need a pipe outside to get the water from the aqua roll, obviously into your caravan. So make sure that you have with you your water pump as well. And number 4 there is the electric cable, because you will need that for everything to do with electric inside your caravan, unless you're going to go completely off grid. So they're the 4 essential items. The other one I'd probably say is to make sure you have locks with you, the relevant locks that you need for your caravan, so that it is safe and secure and you keep your insurance valid. The next thing on our list is making sure that you have some tools and the appropriate things you need. From time to time, you will have to do little bits of maintenance work on your caravan, and a beginner issue is that they don't have the tools to do that. The caravan doesn't have as many tools in at the moment, but will soon do have some more tools in. But see, basic things like screwdrivers, we've got some silicone spray here, we've got other sprays here just to help us clean, and also some cleaning products to help us clean, and even a bit of tape just in case we need it. The next mistake that lots of newbie caravanners don't do is check the gas level. We've actually got in here a gas safe bottle, so we can actually see through the sides of the bottle. If we have a look, We can see how much gas is in there, but make sure you know how much gas you've got in your bottle, because you don't want to do what we did recently, which is we went away in the caravan and then for 3 days of our 5-day trip we had no gas and therefore had no way to cook easily. But we'll put a video at the top if you're interested in that. So make sure you know how much gas you've got in your gas tank or your gas bottles before you go away. Another big mistake that lots of new caravanners make, and we all make, is not making sure we have enough food for the duration of our stay. We want to make sure that that fridge is fully stocked so we don't have to go out during the time we're away. Even better if you can get some things in the freezer, because it will last a little bit longer if you're there for a week or maybe 2 weeks. Another big issue that lots of new caravanners or motorhomers have is that they overload their caravan. They put far too much in. Yes, it already has the kitchen sink, but they try to put a second one in. I would advise that you try to use your caravan or your motorhome as lightly as possible, because the less weight that's in the caravan or your motorhome, the more stable it's going to be. It also depends on where you put the weight, and that's where we're going to talk about weight distribution in a second. If you put all the weight at the front of your caravan, what will happen is you'll have a lot of pressure on your hitch pushing down, and the back of the caravan will stick up a little bit. If you put all of the weight at the back of your caravan, like I'm sat here, then what happens is that the back of the caravan will go down, but where the hitch is, which should be pushing down, it isn't putting that pressure on the hitch, and what happens then is you get instability in your caravan. As well as the general amount of weight you're putting in your caravan, you want to think about where you put things. You want to put your heavier items over the axle, which is about the middle of the caravan. You look at where your wheels are, whether it's a single axle or a twin axle. You want to put the heavy items on the floor over the axle. Medium weight items can go in drawers above there or kitchen cupboards. And then the heavy items will go in the top lockers, because if you put too much in those top lockers, again, you'll start to have a bit of instability, and that's not something you want to have when you're going on a major road, particularly when you're a beginner caravanner. So I'll say that again because it is very important. Heavy items go on the floor over the axle. Medium items go in the middle of the height of the caravan, and lighter items go at the top of the caravan. Try to put as less as you can in the top lockers, because if you overfill them, you might have some stability problems, which is not a good thing if you're driving down a small country road or even a major motorway if the caravan is wagging and pulling your car all over. That's particularly scary if you're a beginner caravanner. So really think about the weight you're going to put and where you put the weight in your caravan to help you not have that new beginner problem of being a caravan owner. Another big issue that a lot of beginner caravanners have is they get their lovely shiny new caravan or new to us caravan, whatever it might be, doesn't matter what caravan you've got, and not knowing how it actually works. How do you hitch the caravan up? How do you turn on the heating inside your caravan? Or how do you turn on the water inside your caravan? Or how do you fill the water inside your caravan using an aqua roll and a pump? For more hints and tips, what I would do is I'd make sure you go on to our Caravan Tips for Beginners, and that will help you and go through a series of videos we've got there already. But take the time to get to know how to use your caravan. Other things on that are, how do you use the cooker? How do you turn the gas on the caravan? How does the heating panel work? Because they're all different on different caravans. How do you empty the toilet? How do you kind of fix things if you have an issue with the heating? So do make sure you spend the time to work out how your caravan works. What I would do is, when we're not in lockdown or when you're able to get the caravan, is get it back to your house, or if it has to be in storage, leave it there, but make sure you go through all the systems, the 12 volt, the 240 volt if you can, and make sure you know how everything works, because the last thing you want to do, particularly with family like I've got, is get onto the pitch and then realise you don't know how things work, because you will get a lot of stress from your children or your other half or your partner, because you'll be trying to get everything sorted, it won't work, the children will get stressed, you will get stressed as well. So to stop that beginner issue, make sure you take the time to learn how does your caravan work and how does everything work for your caravan. Another big issue that beginner caravanners have, and all caravanners have, even myself, which we did a couple of years ago, is not knowing where your keys are or not knowing where your second set of keys are. You don't want to lose your original keys in the first place anyway, but you definitely don't have the issue that you lose your first keys and realise you can't get in your caravan when you're in France and your keys are on the pitch 2.5 hours away. Oh yeah. But what I would make sure you do is give your partner or somebody in your family the other set of keys outside the caravan, because we did have a set of keys, but they were in the caravan, which wasn't very useful because we didn't have the keys to get in the caravan. So that's one that you definitely want to stop. Make sure you know where your keys are. And also in the terms of keys, make sure that you have everything on both sets of keys. You don't want to have some of the locks that you use on the other set of keys, because again, you might not be able to get hitched up and get away on your holiday, or you might not be able to return home. So make sure both sets of keys have all of the keys that you need to use your caravan. In the top left here is a series of beginner tips for new caravanners, which will help you on your way understanding your caravan. So please click on here for a playlist of those. In the bottom right is a video that YouTube has picked for you. Please remember to hit the subscribe button because you got some value from this video. And also, please can you put a comment below, have you had any issues with your caravan? How did you fix them? And lastly, make sure you definitely subscribe to this channel to get more hints and tips, whether you're a beginner or whether you're a more of an advanced or an experienced caravanner.